So I've just read some research by the consumer group and magazine Which about customer service for broadband, and it kind of showed how dissatisfied pretty much everyone is by the quality of the service they get from their broadband provider. And that's something I can relate to. And I wanted to share with you a couple of my customer service horrors to kind of get across why, even if you've got a fantastic deal, if the customer service is poor, I'm not even going to touch it. I'm not going near them. So the worst one I've ever had, I think, was with TalkTalk. And I got a really good deal with them, like incredibly good. I think I was there with them for about 18 months, and I probably only paid about 20 quid by the end of it. But I still possibly would have rather paid 120 quid for all that time and not had the hassle that I went through. So long story short, awful service, the connection, everything about it was not great. Overcharged on stuff, services that didn't work, went on and on and on. And like I said, I didn't pay a huge amount. Some of that was in refunds, some of that was in deals that I got at the beginning. But it just got to the point where the service wasn't good enough. So I tried to leave. And I couldn't. You're tied into a contract and they just kind of refuse to kind of help you get out of it. So often it felt like I was just talking to myself. I'd go talk to a person and explain the situation and then get linked round and talk, you need to talk to this person to do that. And that person would say, oh, you need to talk to this person. And then they say, you need to talk to this person. Just a never ending circle of like not actually talking to anyone. And the issue I was having at the time, this kind of intermittent issue, well, they said they couldn't help me unless they could talk to me when the problem was happening. Well, I didn't know when it was happening, and so they kind of kept closing the case. It was a complete horror, and my final step, I was almost willing, from someone who doesn't like paying more than they need to, and was almost willing to pay the quite hefty exit charge, because I just felt like I was slamming on a brick wall. This woman would not respond to me. She would not help me, and I was almost, I'm not saying I was on the verge of tears. We're just talking about a broadband contract. But I was despairing, like, how am I ever going to get out of this loop? It's never going to happen. Eventually, I did manage to do it, but I'm never going to go back to TalkTalk ever again, based on that customer service quality. The quality of what I was getting from TalkTalk wasn't great, but the customer service was appalling. Someone else who I had that issue with was npower. Again, I read about something the other day where someone had their door was broken down by npower to get into the house. Now, I can understand that happening because I have very, very nearly had the same thing happen to me. Again, had a good deal to switch with them, paying the bills, didn't have to deal with them too often. But then I got this letter and it said, you need to provide access to us to read the meters. And I said, well, the meters are outside. You can access them at any time, or you can, fine. Then I got another letter saying, we're going to send bailiffs around. We're going to break down your door to check your meter. And this is despite someone having already come round and done all this. An absolute joke. And what was scary about that one from npower was the letter I got was quite threatening as well. And I can imagine some people being a bit kind of like, oh God, we don't want this to happen, and trying to get this all sort of sorted out. And they couldn't. Again, another company who I'm never going to go back to because the customer service was so appalling. Now, to be fair, both TalkTalk and npower, those cases were both a couple of years ago now, maybe 18 months ago. So they could have got their act together. They could have improved the service that they provide. But, looking at other kind of comments you see online and other kind of things on Twitter, I'm pretty sure they're still some of the worst companies out there from my experience. But on the other hand, when there's someone who goes out of their way to help you, even if there's a problem, it does kind of make you feel, yeah, I like using them. I'm going to stick with them. American Express is a fantastic example of that. Big fan of their cashback credit cards. Use it as much as I can. Obviously, pay off the full amount every month so I don't get charged interest. But when you phone them up, if there's an issue with the card, they are so hot. They get it fixed straight away. So if I had a choice of any kind of credit card provider, obviously the deals and bonuses and stuff that you get play a big part of it. But for customer service, they are right up there, and that makes them one of my favourite brands. So I just thought I'd share those horrors I've had of customer service with you, so you're not alone. But if you do come across things like that, don't take it, sitting down. Don't take it laying down. Do try and fight back. Do try and push as much as you can. And if it's really, really bad, ask for compensation. Ask for some money back for the hours that you spent on hold, for the hassle, for the days you've taken off work waiting for an engineer to arrive. Whatever it might be, fight back if there's bad customer service. I'm Andy Webb. Go over to becleveryourcash.com and find more articles and tips and tricks to help you with your finances. And please do subscribe to this YouTube channel as well so you don't miss any future videos. I'd love to know about your customer service nightmares as well, so do chuck them in the comments below. Cheers.